Surprise! Surprise, everybody! I know. This isn't what I said I was gonna do for you guys. I know. But I had a slight feeling that nobody would care about this particular change in the plan. I don't know, guys. Listen, I'm never gonna say I was in the mood to watch this movie because I certainly wasn't. That's certainly not what was going on. However, it is not like me to leave something unfinished. It's not me. Leaving something unfinished is just not me. We did the first two. My knowledge on this timeline is high. I checked Amazon. Ends is free right now. This movie's free right now. There is no, it is, unfortunately for me, objectively speaking, there was no better time to do this. So, what I did, lads, I'll tell you what I did. I went to the fucking gas station. I got fucking alcohol. I set that alcohol in my fridge. And I said, I am not drinking this until this is done. The movie has been watched. And now it's time to fucking earn my fucking alcohol because I desperately fucking need it after fucking watching that shit. Again. Lads, I played Dead by Daylight so you don't have to. And now I'm watching this again so you don't have to. I'm doing this for you. I sat down and gave up hours of my life to this movie again so that you will never have to do it again. So that I will never have to do it again. The reason that this is being made right now is I am being responsible, lads. I am being responsible. I'm doing this for me, and I'm doing this for you. If there is ever a time in your existence, for the rest of your fucking life, that you forget how bad this movie is, and you wonder, I wonder if Ends was really that bad. I wonder if I should give it another chance. I wonder if there's more redeeming qualities in Ends than I think there are. Maybe I should give it another watch. Fuck that. If you ever have the urge to tackle this movie again, you fucking click on this video. That's what you do. This movie should never enter your fucking DVD player ever again. This movie will not be entering my DVD player ever again. I got through it a second time. I have fucking 10 pages of notes. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to tackle this fucking movie in a manner that puts it behind us forever. And then we never have to discuss it again. We never have to think about this fucking movie ever again. Because it will be off of our fucking plate. The load will have been shot. And we'll be done with Halloween Ends once and for all. Okay? I can't leave it alone, lads. I can't leave it alone. We did the first two. I have to do it. I feel it is my moral obligation to get this up as soon as possible so that you or I will never have to think about this fucking movie ever again. So that's what I'm going to do, lads. That all being said, I'm sitting here, 1:20 a.m. in the morning, got my fucking energy drink, because fuck, man, I already drank one. The movie's just so fucking boring. That's what it all boils down to. The movie's just so fucking boring. Like, we're disregarding every bad character choice, bad dialogue, bad this, bad that that's in the fucking movie. The movie is just horrendously fucking boring. The pace of this movie is slow. Slow. If 2018 was the best paced movie and then Halloween Kills was like the hare, this is the fucking tortoise. This is the tortoise, lads. This movie is boring. Boring. And I feel like that's the thing I'm going to start with because, like, lads, like, bad character choice is one thing. Bad this is one thing. When you're boring, that is probably the ultimate sin. Because if something is bad, I can come on here and scream about how bad it is. And I won't be doing that for this, because this is a very bad movie. This is a very, 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 very bad movie that just, it insults the franchise, it insults the protagonist, it insults the antagonist, it insults your investment of the franchise, it insults the setting that it takes place in. It literally Everything about this franchise is insulted in this movie. It's insulted to the point where when you watch this one, it is very hard to want to watch another one. That's the reason I didn't really want to do this, but like, I sucked it up, man. I sucked it up. And I will still be doing the rest of this, but holy fuck, man. This movie just really has a way of making everything within this franchise seem very uninteresting. And I think that's one of the ultimate sins of this fucking movie. Like, it's so bad, it makes you question why you like the fucking franchise. It's that fucking bad. Like, it's not an exaggeration, lads. I've seen it twice now. I thought that I'd forgive some things, and I didn't. The things, like the shock, maybe it's because I wasn't ready. I acknowledged last week I probably wasn't ready to watch this again. I wasn't ready to forgive certain aspects of the movie and certain things that they did. So, like, seeing those things again, it didn't do anything but reignite the fucking anger in me when I fucking saw it. And again, I will say, lads, it is hard to make me angry about fiction. It's hard to make me legitimately angry about fiction. At this point, like, I've seen so many movies, I've read a lot of writing, I've read so many stories, seen so many fucking videos, played so many virtual apps and shit. Like, I'm so, like, it is hard for something to legitimately piss me off in fiction. And this is one of those things that can somehow do it. Because it's irresponsible writing combined with the insulting of the fan investment that just, I can't stand it. Irresponsibility, not taking care of the characters, not taking care of the settings, it pisses me off as someone who's writing a novel myself. Like my characters are like I say this all the time. My novel is my baby. My novel is my child. I will probably never have a child. I don't think. So, like, my novel is my child. So to see irresponsibility with characters and irresponsibility with your fucking creation, that pisses me off. And again, it's not just being bad. You have to do something very, very, very special to piss me off. And this movie pisses me off. It's just incredible, bro. It's just incredible how this movie manages to do that. This is a bad, bad, bad fucking movie, bro. It's a bad movie. There's no other way to look at it than it's a bad movie. It's bad. Like, it's incredible to me, bro. It's incredible to me how somebody can watch the fucking Rob Zombie movies and say they're bad and they're not good, and then turn this on and say it is. Like, it baffles me on so many fucking levels, bro. It baffles me. Like, it's just awful. It's just fucking horrendous on every conceivable level, bro. That being said, there were certain aspects of this movie that I was interested in re-looking at and re-examining from number one, a deeper investment in the timeline, as I have done about 2 hours for both movies. So I had 2 hours of 2018, 2 hours of Kills, and then I still have all my notes from those movies, so my knowledge on the timeline is very big at this particular moment. So I think it's time for us to, as we get started here, we need to establish a framework for where we're going to approach this criticism of this fucking movie, okay? The very first thing I want to talk about is what the criticism of this movie is not, okay? What it's not. Because there are some people that try to downplay the criticism that people have against this movie. I remember one clip that pissed me off was from a group I really respect, which is Red Letter Media. I saw a clip of Red Letter Media saying that the people were mad that this was not just a movie where the guy in the mask runs around and kills people the whole time. That is not what we're mad about. When someone is mad at this movie, the fact that it's not the man in the mask, Michael Myers, the fact that it's not just him running around killing people like it was last time, one is a very, very oversimplification of Kills' plot, for one. Again, Kills is a character study. They tanked an entire movie's objective quality to do a character study of the character they then character assassinated in this movie. The problem with this movie is the character assassination it gives the antagonist of the entire franchise, as well as the insulting way the protagonist of the franchise is portrayed. A combination of those two elements. The character assassination of the antagonist combined with the insulting portrayal of the protagonist. Both are wrong. Both are absolutely fucking wrong. Next, the insertion of the fucking out of nowhere character that comes from out of nowhere in the fucking trilogy and the confines of the trilogy. We've already talked about ways to get him in the trilogy in the 2018 and Kills. Regarding both of those movies, how we could fix the Corey Cunningham shit from this perspective of fixing it starting with the 2018 movie and starting it with Kills. 2018, the suggestion was combine Corey and Dr. Sartain into a new character called Dr. Sartain that basically goes through the same arc over 3 movies and then pace it better that way. Second, the fun for Kills was to move Kills from being on the same night as 2018 to Halloween night 2019 to basically, number one, lower the pacing of Kills to where you can start getting this fucking dickhead in the trilogy earlier. The point is we needed, the idea that they wanted to do here was not appropriate for the trilogy's conclusion, for one. And two, if you wanted to do it, you needed to start planting the seeds for this type of storyline way fucking sooner. The same issue with the mob storyline is the issue with the Corey storyline. They didn't earn it. They didn't earn it organically, so they forced it. That's the same fucking problem. They forced it. They did not, the pieces were not where they wanted them to fucking be, so they forced it. It's bad writing. It's not just, well, we're mad that it wasn't Myers killing people the whole movie. That's not what it is. That's not what it is, lads. It's not. Number two, you're mad that Michael Myers died. You're mad that he got killed by a woman. You're mad about that. It's like, the fact that Myers dies is not the character assassination I refer to. There are ways to kill characters while keeping them looking strong, while keeping their dignity intact. There's ways to do that. There's ways to kill characters correctly. This was not that. How Myers goes out in this movie is insanely rude and disrespectful, for one. And two, his death scene, as bad as his death scene is, it is not the worst scene in the movie in terms of the character. That would be when Corey rips his fucking mask off, and we'll get to that. When Corey runs in the sewer and beats his ass and takes the mask, that is the character assassination. That is the scene that really destroys the dignity of the character and damages the franchise forever. It's that one, not the death scene. Everybody and their mother's fucking brother could tell you that Michael Myers was going to die as soon as they saw the title of the fucking movie. It doesn't take a fucking genius to tell you what was going to happen in a movie called Halloween Ends. Myers is going to die. We knew that. The question was whether Laurie was going with him. That was the question going into the movie. Next, in our reestablishment of the groundwork, where did we leave off? Kills the extended cuts ending. I choose to use this ending because this is the canon ending. They say in interviews, this extended ending for Kills is canon. Okay? Myers butchers Laurie's daughter in his room. Laurie, it says, "I'm coming for you, Michael," over the phone, over which she called her daughter. Myers answered, and Laurie said, "I'm coming for you, Michael," and then was leaving the hospital with the knife. Okay? That is the framework that we are working with coming into Halloween Ends. That's where we leave off with the main protagonist and the main antagonist. That is where we leave off coming into this movie. So, how do we choose to open Halloween Ends? How do we choose to retain that momentum? Okay? How do we do that? Halloween night 2019. The first thing you see in this movie is wrong. The very, very, very first fucking thing you see in this movie is wrong. It's the Halloween night 2019, and the very first thing you see in this movie is shots of some random trick-or-treaters running around through the streets of Haddonfield like there's nothing going on. Like there's nothing better to do. Lads, they try to insist in this movie and the last movie that fucking Haddonfield is a changed fucking place by the events of 2018 and Kills. It was so changed, it happened so fast in fucking 5 hours. Haddonfield went from not giving a fuck about this guy, Michael Myers, to fucking starting a violent fucking mob in the name of getting Michael Myers in the span of 5 hours. That's how bipolar we were. But it's like in the context of kayfabe, for lack of a better word, in the context of the canon, it's that Myers' evil spread so fast through the fucking town, and he started corrupting the town that fucking quickly. Okay, paced like shit, sure, but that's what's going on here. We do not see the setting you're building for this movie is the overly paranoid one that needed to fear something and needed to fear some boogeyman. So when the kids are walking through the fucking streets, like it's the same old fucking song and dance, it's the same old fucking shit, you're not seeing the impact of Michael Myers right away. You're not seeing the changes in the setting that they tell you are there. You see a little bit, but it's like, you can't, it's hard to speak that for the whole fucking town. Like, yes, well, so like one family confronts Laurie, one. Big fucking whipty shit. That could just be one fucking family that doesn't fucking matter. Right? It's just one. To see the same song and dance with the trick-or-treaters, that's a problem. Because the setting that you've built is just not in line with that. So basically, fucking Corey Dick Dipshit walks in the fucking house and he gets all the rules for this fucking kid. Okay? They finally mention Kills and that Michael Myers' rampage makes the kid wet the bed. There you go, Myers. You did fucking something right. You made this kid pee his pants in bed. Yeah. That's like Myers' lasting legacy right now. He makes this fucking 6-year-old kid pee his pants at bedtime. Fucking bite me. So, he gets all the rules for this kid, and then Corey fucking insults me. It's like they wanted this line to be insulting on rewatches. Corey turns to the camera, okay? It's like, oh, like the kid says, come play with me or whatever. And then the dad's like, sounds like a threat. And then Corey smiles at the fucking camera as if insulting you on a rewatch. And then he says, it's Halloween. We're going to have a good time tonight. No, we're not, fucker, because we got this movie in. We are not going to have a good fucking time this evening watching fucking Halloween Ends. Whenever you hear that line come out of Corey Cunningham's mouth, you know you still have about an hour and 50 minutes of this fucking garbage. We're going to have a good time tonight. No, we're not, bro. No, we're not. Not at all. The Thing remake then plays for about 20 seconds on the TV. How I wish I was watching that. John Carpenter, what happened to you, bro? Remember when you made that? That was a good movie. What the fuck am I watching here? So, Corey's going to play hide and seek with big dipshit Jeremy, but Jeremy is a dipshit. And that causes Corey, he's like a smart ass. That makes Corey leave for the kitchen. You get a shot of this knife, and then Jeremy sneaks off. Okay? So, Corey's looking around the house for Jeremy. You see the knife in the kitchen's gone. And Jeremy starts screaming, and he's like, Corey, help! Help me, Corey! Yeah! So you see the knife on the stairs. Corey grabs a knife and goes up the stairs and into the attic. And then Jeremy locks him in the attic. Why does Corey look like Jeffrey Dahmer? I have written in my notes. The glass. Why does Corey look like Jeffrey Dahmer? I don't know, dude. I don't know. So Corey basically starts screeching like a lunatic and he starts kicking at the door. Okay? This is all the opening. Okay? So the parents are walking home, right? They walk in the door. They're going, what the hell's happening? Because Corey's calling Jeremy, you little shit, I'm going to get you. And the parents are like looking for them to see what the fuck's going on. And then Corey kicks the door open. The door hits Jeremy in the face, okay? And then I don't know. I was watching it. This is my first time watching it back. Can somebody explain to me how far the attic was from the fucking rail? Because it's like Jeremy wanted to fucking die based on what I watched. Explain to me how the door hits the kid in the face so fucking hard that he fucking flies back and jumps across the rail and then down multiple floors. Like, how does that even happen? The fucking setup made no fucking sense. How the hell did, physics, help me. Like, the railing had to be, like, right fucking there, but I don't think it was based on what I watched. I don't understand how the kid getting hit with the door led to him being over the fucking rail. Like, I don't get that. So, that don't make no fucking sense. That don't make no fucking sense. But anyway, so this somehow, Jeremy, like, hits the floor, and his neck, like, whiplashes in a way that was really stupid and funny. It was way too stupid to be scary. He's like, his neck, like, snaps backwards, but he looks like a fucking twig. It looks fucking awful. I can't believe they left that in the movie. They should have just fucking not shown that, because it looked way too stupid. So the parents are fucking screaming, and then the mom's like, what did you do? And this cues up the jack-o'-lantern sequence. Okay? Now, on a first watch, I gave them the opening. Because I'm like, okay, sure. This is different. This is a little bit different. I'll meet you halfway, see where we're going with this shit. So, admittedly, on a first viewing, I did give them the opening. I didn't like it this time because I knew where we were going. But that's neither here nor there. I would like to repeat that this jack-o'-lantern sequence is really bad. First of all, the song is weaker here, I think. I don't like this version of the song. It sounds like it's supposed to be, like, softer than 2018's, but, like, harder than Kills' I guess. But I don't know. And I cannot tell you what the fuck is happening with the jack-o'-lanterns, okay? Like, every jack-o'-lantern sequence had a point up to this point. The first one was demonstrating the franchise's rebirth for 2018. The pumpkin was rotten, and then they used reverse imaging or whatever to make the pumpkin rise again, demonstrating the fucking franchise coming back from bad times, right? That's what the fucking jack-o'-lantern rising up again meant for 2018. For Kills, they were demonstrating that out of all the Myers that you see, this one is the most angry. This one's the scariest. This one, because it had all 12 jack-o'-lanterns for all 12 movies, and the one for Kills burned the brightest, indicating that you're getting a more violent and scary Myers than you have in the past. Which, again, Rob Zombie laughs at you, sir, but that's beside the point. That's beside the point. What the fuck's going on here in this one? You get one jack-o'-lantern that fucking morphs into another jack-o'-lantern that then changes into another jack. Like what are we doing here? What's the point? The only thing I kind of came up with was that they're talking about how, like if the jack-o'-lantern is supposed to represent Myers and evil or whatever, the fact that it changes from one to the other could mean that evil's changing shape or whatever, which is kind of something we're doing in this movie. I don't know. That's what I came up with. But that's really, really stretching it and shoehorning it. That's just really shoehorning it. I tried. That's what I came up with. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way, it's not obvious what it's communicating, which is different from the other two. With these jack-o'-lantern things, you're supposed to be very obvious with the communication. I feel like they failed here. Also, they use Halloween 3's fucking font and letters if that's somehow supposed to make it good. That's as soon as you point out flaws with this opening, the fucking clowns will be like, they use Halloween 3's letters! As if that's somehow supposed to make it good? I'm confused. How does that make it good? How does that make it good, lads? So, there you go. We are now going to get into the first act of this movie. I have a lot of notes on the first act. The first act to me sucks. It's just, this first act to me is absolutely fucking awful. I don't think it does anything right. I really don't. So, the very first thing that happens is Laurie starts narrating for her fucking memoir, okay? You get some brief snippets and newspaper clippings. They said, one of those newspaper clippings says that there was some manhunt for Myers that resulted in nothing. So, like, he must have a really good hiding spot if they didn't find him. Especially for 4 fucking years, bro. But, that's all you fucking get. So, Laurie's opening monologue notes the changes in Haddonfield's setting. She describes Myers as an infection. Again, not enough to stop basic Haddonfield rules, I guess. Like, not enough to stop basic trick-or-treating, I guess. Basically, what you learn here is that, here's how she frames it. She's like, I'm not going to let fear rule my life anymore. Like, the idea here was, as the town got more corrupted by Michael Myers, Laurie tried to not be under his influence, okay? As the town went deeper under Myers' influence, Laurie's goal was to rise above it, okay? That's why they kind of portray her here. They don't want her to be infected by Myers' infection, because Myers is like an infection in this, right? That's what they're saying. So they make her, and by extension, Allison a little bit, but they try to like convey Laurie as not part of the infected group, okay? Here's the problem, lads. Here's the problem I have with that. Here's the problem. Right away, here's the problem. And it's a big one. This is a major fucking problem. The problem is that the last time Michael Myers was on screen, Laurie, he was butchering your daughter. That's the problem. He stabbed your daughter 25 times in the fucking tits the last time he was on screen. So, while you can sit there and write your little memoir and say, I'm not gonna let fear rule my life anymore, we know that in the last movie, you left the hospital claiming that you were coming for Michael Myers. Okay? What it looks like, to me, is that you couldn't find him and you gave up. You gave up. Michael Myers wins after Halloween Kills, disappears into the fucking sewer, and you don't see him again. You give up. You don't find him. You don't look for him. You give up. He stabbed your fucking daughter. All that fucking shit is, it sounds like hokey pokey dance to get around the fact that you fucking gave up. What happened to it? I'm coming for you, Michael. And this was a good segue. Basically, it was like Laurie thought Michael was obsessed with her, so she was playing defense the entire first movie. The second movie, she learns that she's not Michael's obsession, and that Myers fucking doesn't care, and he's just here to kill everybody. And it ends with Myers fucking killing her daughter at the end of his murderous rampage that impacts the entire town. So Laurie cannot let that go, and she becomes obsessed with him, and that is the third movie, where it's like my defense, middle ground, offense, right? The third movie was set up to be Laurie's obsessed with Myers to the point where she will not rest until he's in the fucking ground. That's the setup that we got. That is the logical character development that we were getting here. That's what was happening here. That would have been the most interesting thing to do. Where it's like, now Laurie is obsessed with Myers, but she thought he was obsessed with her, and through that entire development, she became obsessed with him, and it is absolutely her mission to kill this man. He killed her daughter. She has nothing to live for. She's in her fucking early 60s. She won't rest until he's dead. That is what made fucking sense. If Michael Myers is alive, Laurie is trying to kill him. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have been, lads. Instead, what we got was a complete 180 from the dynamic that is the most interesting, that is the most compelling. A complete 180. Instead of Laurie being obsessed with Myers and wanting him dead, what you got in this movie was a character that is undriven, unmotivated, and giving up to the point where her fucking morning consists of burning her fucking pumpkin pie like she fucking is a fucking old grandma with Alzheimer's. To have Laurie sitting there baking fucking pumpkin pie while Myers is still out there is disrespectful to what they set up in 2018. It is disrespectful to the franchise, and it is disrespectful to the character of Laurie Strode all the way back in 78. To where that man killed and butchered her friends. Butchered her friends all the way up to now, where he butchered her daughter, killed her granddaughter's friends, and ruined her fucking life. Ruined over 40 years of her existence to this point. But no, she's gonna bake pie in the fucking oven and burn it. Not even know do it right. She's gonna bake pumpkin pie. It's insulting. It's insulting to the dynamics that are set up. It's insulting to the franchise. To watch the main protagonist fucking burn pie while the antagonist is out there after butchering her daughter. leaving her daughter on the floor like she was a fucking hunk of trash. And that character, the one that turned her house into fucking Sarah Connor house, to where it was an anti-Myers house that she worked on for 40 years to set it up and burn his ass alive. That character gave up. I'm gonna rise above his influence. Fuck that. Kill him. This character should be kill the bastard. Like, this isn't some Batman-Joker relationship where Batman's all like, I'm gonna rise above the Joker. I can't break my one rule. This isn't that dynamic. Laurie wants to kill this man. Anything other than that is simply incorrect and wrong. I'm sorry. This is why the protagonist is simply insulted. She lets the antagonist get away with literal murder and butchering her family, and gives up, walks away, bakes pie. I cannot get over that framework. Ever. I don't think I will ever be over that framework. It's just fucking rude. It's the least interesting thing you could do with the character. I don't want to watch a movie about an undriven, unmotivated Laurie Strode that burns her pumpkin pie. Instead of going after this man who fucking ruined her life and killed her family and killed her friends. That's not what we want come to watch, bro. This is why I don't get it. This is the ending for Laurie Strode we wanted? This is the ending for Laurie Strode that Jamie Lee signed off on to let the guy win? If Myers wasn't in her house at the end of the fucking movie, she would have never saw him again. Let the guy win. How feminism is that? Let the evil guy win. Let the white evil man win and take everything from you and go bake pie. How's that for feminism, bro? Seriously. You might think this is overdoing it on this particular point, but it bothers me that they thought after post kills that this is the framework they came up for the main fucking protagonist of this movie. Oh, well, she isn't really the main character of this movie, though. She really isn't. Awful. Awful. It's awful, dude. It's awful. Like, it's just, he killed your daughter, bro. Like, think about other fiction. When Frankenstein, the novel, when Frankenstein's monster killed his wife on their wedding night, that's what happens in the fucking novel, lads. Frankenstein's monster breaks in and kills Frankenstein's wife on their wedding night. What does Frankenstein do? He chases that motherfucker down to the end of the fucking earth. He chases him across the fucking world to make sure he's dead. Because he killed his wife on their wedding night. What if Frankenstein had just gave up and went and burned some pie? Like, that's awful. Sticking a little closer to home. When fucking Myers butchers Annie in Halloween 2, what does Sheriff Brackett do? Does he sit on his ass and try to rise above it? I'm gonna rise above Michael's influence. No! He fucking snipes his ass in the fucking theatrical cut, which is the worst version, admittedly. No, he fucking leads a full police chase against this guy, surrounds his fucking ass, and makes sure he's dead. That's what he does. Because that's what you fucking do, lads. That's what you fucking do. Laurie should not be resting until Myers is fucking dead. That rant done. That rant out of the way. So we learn there's a Halloween party, and Allison isn't going because she doesn't want to go alone. We then meet Corey McBory again as he drives to work at the junkyard as a nice mechanic. He's late and his dad boss is there. His dad is the boss. And his dad gives him a motorcycle, okay? That's what happens next. Allison's on the way to work. She gets pulled over by her ex-cop. We don't get to see much of that. All he says is that her muffler's out, so that'll be important later. We don't get many details out of her relationship with this cop. That's something we needed, and kind of, sort of, like, again, not 20 minutes of screen time. Just give me a throwaway line or two about why the relationship ended. Why did it start? What went wrong? What's going wrong? Is he still being a dick? Like, what's going on here? We don't get anything, though. We see a homeless bum then collecting garbage, okay? And then we get a shot of the sewer with a slow version of the Halloween theme in the background. So now we know where Myers is, if you're smart and paying attention. You know that's where he's in the sewer. So Corey McBory is now at the gas station, okay? Corey McBory's at the gas station. The asshole there is like, you're gonna buy something? So Corey buys this glass milk or some shit. And here's another thing I have a serious problem with. Seniors from Haddonfield High School or whatever, they show up and they try to make Corey McBory buy them beer. Okay? So, ignoring the obvious, which we'll get to in a second, let's talk about a smaller problem. I've never seen any high schooler ever walk up to some rando and ask them to buy them beer. If you are an underage person, lads, I worked at an amusement park, okay? I worked at an amusement park for like 5 years. Okay, from when I was probably 16 years old up until last year. So I worked at an amusement park from when I was 16 and underage myself with underage people. If you are an underage people that drinks alcohol, you usually have a designated person to get the alcohol from. Usually a brother, an older brother is very common here. Or a very trusted friend of the family. You're not going and asking randos for fucking drinks. That's just not happening. That's not what they do. Again, don't post your fucking one experience of this in the comments, because again, I'm sure it's happened to somebody. But all in all, this right here is just not a realistic thing. But ignoring that little minor thing, here's the bigger problem. 21-year-old Corey Cunningham is getting harassed and bullied by 18-year-old high schoolers. A high school student is bullying a college student, essentially. In what world? In what fucking world, lads, is this going on? Has it ever happened to you while you were in college, you got bullied by a bunch of high schoolers? Has that ever happened to you? It hasn't happened to me. Has it happened to you? It's not a realistic framework to me. But again, the framework here doesn't make any sense. The fucking high schoolers then start calling Corey a pedo freak, a pedo creep, a pedophile. They start calling him a pedophile. Do you know what a pedophile is? A pedophile is an adult that has sex with children and is sexually attracted to children. Okay? Why the fuck are we pulling that out right now? Why are we pulling out that insult? I'll tell you why we're pulling out that insult. Because the scriptwriter knows they're writing uninteresting garbage. That's why the pedo is coming out. Pedophile is used here because the scriptwriter knows he's not writing anything interesting. He's not writing a realistic premise. He's writing garbage. So the reason that we're bringing pedophile into this is that they're trying to get a reaction out of you via shock value. They're trying to shock you so much and try to make you forget about the flaws with what you're watching. That's why it's there. Again, I think pedophile is something that should be avoided whenever you can. Obviously, there's characters like Freddy Krueger where it's completely written into their subtext and you kind of have to use it or pull out the subtext eventually. Like, there's times for it here. Not here. It's not... To use the word pedo was not appropriate for this setting and this character in this movie. It wasn't appropriate. It's there because it's trying to make you forget that what you're watching is fucking garbage. Terrible. Terrible. So basically, Corey gets mad and he squeezes his glass so hard he breaks it, and that spills all over the high schoolers who push him against the wall. So Laurie's sitting there getting gas, and she's like, "Hey, assholes, knock it off." Okay? So then the dirtbags are like, "The psycho meets the freak show." Again, that's totally real. They then tease Laurie about Michael Myers as they walk away. Like, the black girl goes, "Michael Myers," and she does a weird fucking face. Which, I mean, in this town, that is akin to being in Germany talking about Hitler. Like, I get that they're bad kids. But if you're talking about Michael Myers in this town, that's akin to talking about Hitler. I feel like even the bad kids, like, his name should have so much power that he's fucking Voldemort. He's not said. They shouldn't ever talk about him. To talk about him demeans his power and demeans his presence. It demeans him. To throw his name around very casually after he fucking butchered half the town 4 years ago takes away his power and influence. No matter how much of a punk kid you are, okay? Like, I know kids joke about shit. Like, my little brother's friend at elementary school got in trouble because they were making a TikTok and they made a joke about a tornado running through someone's city. I get kids joke about this stuff, but again, in this movie, Michael Myers should be something that is avoided. And I mean, I understand that it's like, oh, there's a bunch of Hitler jokes and 9/11 jokes today, but again, in this one fucking town, by these fucking people who probably know people that were butchered by the man personally, I don't feel like Michael Myers and then waving their fingers at Laurie. That's not appropriate in this fictional story in this setting. I just didn't buy it. I know they're bad, but I mean, the whole setup here was contrived just to get Laurie and Corey talking. Smaller note, characters' names should never rhyme with each other. Laurie and Corey, bad choice. His name should have been Kevin or something. Laurie and Corey, to have Ori be a sound like, you're like, oh, we're pulling that criticism out. Yes! You're not supposed to make characters have similar names. Because, especially in a novel. In a movie, it's a little more forgivable. But in a novel, you're not supposed to make characters have similar names because it can confuse the fucking reader. But again, beside the fucking point. That's less. So basically, Laurie, here's another huge fucking scene I have a problem with. Laurie helps them up, and then she goes, you want me to do it? Or do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it? And then she gestures to their car and flicks out a pocket knife. Okay? So, what happens here, so then Corey stabs their tires, and then they drive away. So what just happened, lads? Let me let me phrase it to you a different way, and you tell me if it sounds stupid when I say it to you this way. An elderly woman in her early 60s and a 21-year-old man just stabbed and cut the tires of a bunch of children's cars. A child's car. That's what just happened there. 18 for their seniors. Even if you want to say 18 is considered an adult, what happened was a 60-plus-year-old woman and a 21-year-old man stabbed the teenager's car, cut the tire, and then left. Yeah, fucking awful when I say it like that, huh? But again, this version of Laurie is so pissed off at these fucking kids for assaulting this guy she doesn't fucking know, to the point where she is going to go stab their tires if he doesn't. Now, they did kind of yell at her too, sure, but again, that's not the point. Even if they did yell at her and she's mad at them personally for insulting her, that to the point where she's going to go stab their fucking tires, that same character's daughter was butchered by Michael Myers, and she's not going to do anything about it. You see what I mean? Awful, stupid character work. Awful, fucking miserable character work with Laurie. The way that Laurie was handled in this is equally as disrespectful. I'm sorry. Terrible. The groundwork for Laurie's character here is awful. It's awful. Terrible garbage, bro. And how are people okay with that? I don't understand how this movie has one fucking fan with scenes like this in it. I really don't. I really don't fucking understand, bro. And again, this is all the first act. I'd say we're about 17 minutes into the movie right now. After everything I've just said to you, we're probably what? How long is this review so far? About 30 minutes? 35 minutes? Something around there? We're about fucking 17 minutes into the fucking movie. Like, it's that fucking bad, bro. Like, what am I on? I'm on the top of page 3. I got 10 pages of notes of this shit. Like, awful. The movie is miserable. So Allison works at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, bro. So the next thing we see is fucking Allison trying on this cat mask while still insisting that she's not going to the party. Attention whore, by the way. I'm not going to the party. Acknowledge that I'm not going to the party. I'm not going, guys. I'm not going to the party. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Nobody cares. So Laurie walks in with Corey and for his hand, because his hand's all cut up, right? His hand's got glass in it and shit. Also, and then Laurie says the line, look, someone's getting into the spirit of things, referring to Allison getting into the Halloween spirit. The idea of Laurie Strode running around promoting Halloween spirit should piss you the fuck off as a fan of this franchise. It's insulting. It's insulting to what you know about the franchise. Laurie Strode running around excited about the fact that Allison is getting into the Halloween spirit demeans Michael Myers' character. It's awful. It's awful. Literally everything Laurie says is wrong. Like, again, everything in this movie's wrong. Everything. It's just fucking wrong on so many levels. So, Allison and the main doctor are working on Corey's hand in the back when stupid shit happens and then shit falls over, okay? The professional doctor then curses in front of his patient. That's real great. Again, the fuck. That took me out of the movie. If shit fell over, I don't feel like any real doctor would start cursing at the person working for them. Especially in a tense situation involving, they're fixing the guy's fucking hand and shit. Like, it's not, number one, it's just straight up not professional. And number two, like, you can add stress to the guy you're doing surgery over. Like, it's not, like, that is not how a professional would have handled that situation at all. Again, little stuff takes you out of the fucking movie, bro. Again, is one scene done right in this movie? I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Everything, like, when I say everything is wrong, I mean everything is wrong. Like, even the way the doctor reacts when shit falls over is fucking wrong. So, basically, so Doctor leaves the room, and then Corey and Allison start talking, okay? It's then when you, first of all, like, when Corey walked in, they've made sure to focus on Allison, so as soon as they showed Allison, you knew right away that they were going to do romance bullshit here. But the next scene after this is, like, they start talking about how you couldn't let him talk to you like that. But basically, her car's having problems. She tells him, you're a mechanic, my car's having problems. So the next scene is just they're outside, okay? I don't know when the fuck she got off work, but whatever. So they're just outside, and Corey's under the car. He's saying it's her muffler and that he can fix it tomorrow. Again, asshole's not seeing what's going on here. Okay, So Allison tells him the bicycle two-tire joke. You ever heard of that? Oh, why can't the bicycle stand on its own? And then Corey's like, oh, it can. It has a kickstand. Fucking idiot. She's flirting with you, bro. Fucking Andy Manichek is flirting with you, bro. He misses the point, bro. He misses the point. So it's like at this point you start cringing, right? And then basically, try this next one on Tinder, guys. If you're on Tinder and you get a match, try this one. Basically, Corey, after he completely misses the point on the two-tire joke, okay, he then tries to offer Allison, okay, this dumbass, this fucking poor ass son of a bitch who works at the mechanic shop, tries to offer the young, attractive the young, attractive woman working at the hospital on her way to a promotion. That guy tries to offer her his dirty, sleazy, disgusting bicycle. Next time you're on Tinder, give that one a try, fellas. See how it works out for you. Seriously. Like, this guy is socially inept. And Allison's sitting there fucking just talking to him like, yeah, in what world? In what fucking world is any fucking attractive woman who has started her career and is almost on the way to a promotion going to give this fucking guy any time of day? Any time of fucking day. Like, again, he does say, because he did just get a motorcycle, right? So he does say he has a motorcycle. Okay, cool. The Allison who wants to leave Haddonfield, clearly wants to leave Haddonfield. That's like her character. She doesn't say it till like fucking 50 minutes into the fucking movie. Even longer than that, I think. But it's like, okay, she wants to get out of Haddonfield. So she's like, okay, cool. You got points there, Corey. So you have a motorcycle. And then Allison's like, teach me to ride it. Which is like, okay, she's flirting with you, dude. And even if you couldn't tell she's flirting with you, if a woman ever says, teach me to ride it involving your fucking motorcycle, even, like, anybody fucking has to know that. Not this guy, though. Dumbass just sits there and goes, yeah? Like, that's literally what he says. Like, he sits there, he's, like, confused. He's, like, confused about this shit. Like, bro, this is so fucking easy. Oh, like, she says, teach me to ride it, and all you have to say is, it's cool. Like, all you have to say in that situation is basically, like, fucking, oh, God. This is so free. You just say, yeah, where do you want to go? I can take you anywhere you want. You know what I'm saying? That's what he says. That's what he's supposed to say. Then basically, you ask her where she wants to go. The bitch will start running her fucking mouth about all the places she wants to go. And then you can think about her vagina while she's talking. This is so easy, Corey. Okay? This is so fucking easy. And because she's Allison, she's going to be talking about how she wants to leave Haddonfield. That's clearly written into her character at this point. You can tell by watching it. And like her obvious fascination with the fact that he's a mechanic, fixes cars, and has a motorcycle. You can tell she wants to travel based on that one fucking thing. Combined with what you already know about her, which is that her parents are dead and there's a bunch of painful memories here. It's very easy to deduce that if you're seeing the other movies. So you let her run her mouth about where she wants to go. You can think about her vagina while she's talking. And then all you have to say after that is, because you're Corey Cunningham, you killed the kid here. You obviously went out too. Again, this is a big revelation they dump on you like an hour into the movie. Like, whoa, they're going to leave Haddonfield. Which, if you're not fucking stupid and you're paying attention to the fucking characters, you can deduce that they're going with this way fucking earlier. And they should be talking about it way earlier too. They should be talking about it way earlier too, bro. Really, seriously. And it's like, oh, I also want to get out of Haddonfield. Like, I want to leave Haddonfield too. Where would you like to go? And then you have, again, she'll start running her mouth about the mountains and the beach and in the woods and these cabins. Like, she'll start running her fucking mouth and you can just think about sex the whole time, right? Like, my point here, listen, lad, like, my point with all that is that this fucking dirty, sleazy, scrappy do-looking motherfucker doesn't do anything to organically earn Allison's affection. Nothing. He does not one fucking thing to earn this girl. This attractive, beautiful girl, this fucking child killer, fucking does nothing to earn her affection. What's going on here, lads, is the writing fucking process, the awful writing, needs to speed this fucking shit up. Because we're shoehorning it. We're shoehorning this romance into the fucking storyline. So the awful writing just needs to speed it up as soon as fucking possible to get to the other shit. It's being shoehorned in. That's what's going on here. This entire cringe process is shoehorned in because it needs to happen for the rest of the movie to progress, and they can't waste time on it. They need it to just happen, so they force it, just like they forced everything else in this trilogy. This romance between Allison and Corey is truly a candidate for the fucking most forced romance in cinematic history. Possibly even the fucking history of fiction altogether. It is that terrible. Watching their scenes before fucking Corey gets possessed by Myers or whatever the fuck. He does get a bit more charisma after Myers touches him, but watching this guy sit here and Andy Matichek just fucking throws herself at him is completely not believable and completely garbage. It's garbage. It's happening because the movie needs it to happen so it can start tackling its other ideas. Because it wasn't organically paced. They had no fucking plan. They had no fucking plan for this when they were fucking starting it back in 2018. When they started this whole thing. And when they made Kills, they had no plans for this. They shoehorned it in at the last minute. And they needed it to fucking happen. So it's happening. So there, shut up. No, I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to shut up. This is fucking inorganic, forced garbage that you're giving me right now. This is inorganic, forced, and terrible. Everything about it sucks. It's not fucking believable, bro. So, after that shit, let's keep it up. We're not done yet. Allison goes, you got shit on your back. And she starts to rub the dust off of his back. She's fucking dusting down this disheveled, dirty, hobo-looking motherfucker. And then she immediately asks him out. Like, what the fuck? In what world? How dick-deprived is this fucking bitch? How dick-deprived is it? Like, again, it is not fucking believable that Allison is dick-deprived. It is not believable that she's desperate. She's too hot. She's too fucking hot. If Allison really wanted to fucking date a guy, she'd be on fucking dating apps, going out to parties with her fucking girlfriends, that she doesn't have in this movie, by the way. No friends, they would complicate the plot, so they're not there. Why would she have new friends that she maybe met at college or in medical school, something like that? Why would she have friends? They just complicate the plot. But I'll tell you why she doesn't have friends, because any fucking normal person would tell her to get the fuck away from this guy. Because he's a fucking idiot. They would tell her she can do better, rightfully so. That's why they're not there. Because that would complicate the plot. And again, we're trying to rush this into existence, right? So she can't have any friends. That's why. That's why. I'm telling you the truth, lads. If Allison, fucking attractive Allison wants to date a guy, she's fucking on dating apps, she's fucking with her friends out at parties, at clubs, etc., etc. That's what she's doing. She's not gonna fucking pull this fucking mechanic at work. At work! She's at work when she does this. She's at work when she's fucking doing this, bro. This socially inept idiot, bro. He's a socially inept fucking idiot. After Allison asks him out on a date, he literally turns to her and goes, "You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that." And then he's like, "I'm gonna be late for dinner." And then he leaves. Even if you're Allison and you're dick deprived at this point, and if this fucking guy tells you that and blows you off like that, you're like, fuck that guy. I can do better than that shit. This guy you just met, you have no previous relationship with this dude. It's revealed later in the movie that she knows who he is and wants to date him not date him, but she has this unspoken connection to him. That's because the movie's contriving bullshit, so they speed the process along. That's what's going on there. The reason she says that, I don't even know if I have that written down. She tells him that later in the movie, that she feels a connection to him after she fucking learns about him. The only reason she says that is so we can force this fucking shit to exist when it doesn't organically fucking exist. It's not organic, not real, it's forced, cringe, and terrible. For real, dude. But again, if Allison was a real person, she'd be blowing this guy off as soon as he told her that he was going to be late for dinner and that he doesn't want to do that. And again, what fucking realistic scenario is this? I wish I could fucking get my hand cut, go to the fucking hospital, and just pick up girls at the hospital. And again, she's at work. What fucking woman wants to be hit on while they're at work? What fucking woman, bro? What fucking girl at work wants to be hit on by some creepy guy that walks in with her grandmother? With her fucking grandma? Like, are we for real here? Is that the setup we're going with here? Fucking awful. Again, so yeah, go. I want you to try it, guys. Next time you're at the doctor's office, flirt with the nurse and see how that gets you. See how far it gets you. The odds are it's fucking nowhere. That's where it's getting you. Because it's not realistic and contrived garbage. It's at this point now that you're 25 minutes into the fucking movie. Yep, that's how far we are into this shit, lads. There is another 1 hour and 25 minutes of this fucking nonsense left. And you're the thinking person has now realized that this movie is not what you think it's going to be, and it's starting to slowly fall apart. That's what you realize if you're smart. 25 minutes into the movie, you're realizing that. So Laurie, the next scene we get is Laurie, Allison, and Lindsay. Okay, they're having their little girly drinks, and Allison accuses Laurie of bringing Corey into the hospital on purpose. And then, like what fucking channel is this for? What are we watching? Is this a fucking Lifetime movie for women? What are we fucking watching here, bro? So Lindsay plays with tarot cards, bro. We learned that now. We learned that in this scene. And then, this part is so bad, I actually had to write it down. Okay, so Laurie fucking is carving a jack-o'-lantern. She's making a pumpkin. Again, insulting outside the first movie. Insulting that Laurie's into the Halloween spirit this much that she's carving jack-o'-lanterns. Insulting. But anyway, ignoring that, I wrote this line of dialogue down because it's that fucking bad. You have to, this is something that you have to understand about this. You have to know this line. Laurie is carving a jack-o'-lantern, and she says this to Allison, "You need to find someone that can let go. that makes you want to rip off your shirt and show Grief your fucking tits and say, you know what, let's go. And then she flips the camera off and throws the pumpkin to the floor, like the seeds. Let me say that again. Let me say that again for you. You need to find someone that can let go, that makes you want to rip off your shirt and show Grief your fucking tits and say, you know what, let's go, then flips the camera off and throws pumpkin seeds to the floor. Laurie Strode says that. And no, not Scout Taylor Compton, Laurie. What I just read to you was not dialogue from a Rob Zombie fucking movie. This, to me, even the first time I watched it, this was the most shocking part of the movie. That was so out of fucking character, it made me want to die. To see Jamie Lee Laurie spout out Rob Zombie-like dialogue was insulting. That's the same exact kind of dialogue you would get in the Rob Zombie fucking movies. It really is. It really is. That, to me, is the worst piece of dialogue in Halloween history. That line right there. Because it's the same kind of bad as the Rob Zombie dialogues with the fucking and tits and all that. It's the same kind of bad, but also demeans Laurie's character. Because what the fuck are we doing? What are we watching? What the fuck are we watching right now? Why is the main protagonist of this franchise carving a jack-o'-lantern while the man that killed her fucking child is not there? Still out there. It bears repeating, bro. Michael Myers killed this woman's daughter and ruined her life. Why the fuck are we in the kitchen right now carving jack-o'-lanterns? This character should be ready to throw everything away to kill this man. The drive and determination are completely gone from Laurie. The things that make her admirable, the things that make her attractive, the things that make us like her. The redeeming qualities about the fucking shit that were so good, it started the final girl trope. All the aspects of Laurie's character that we as the audience find admirable, that make her strong, again, that make some people attracted to her, are not there in this incarnation. What are we doing here? Everything interesting about Laurie is gone, and she's screaming in her kitchen about Allison's tits. It's fucking insulting. It's garbage, bro. Like, at what point do you realize you're getting garbage with this movie, is my question. And again, you're not getting anything in the setting to contrast the shit you're getting here with the town's supposed fear of Michael Myers. Again, there's no curfew, no changes in regulations, no banning Halloween, no banning Halloween parties, nothing. Laurie told you at the beginning that there was something wrong with the setting in Haddonfield, but it must be just be repeating that the kids just threw Myers' name around like it was nothing. You see no changes in the setting. People are just walking around like there's nothing. Kids, if you watch those trick-or-treat shots, you will see kids alone. Kids are by themselves walking around. The details are wrong. Everything's wrong. Everything. So, ignoring all that, Corey's at dinner, and his dad is the one that gave him the motorcycle. I have that written down, because it wasn't established that character is the dad until this scene. Basically, Allison texts Corey to invite him to the costume party, and basically he's like, I don't have a costume, and Allison's like, I'll fix that. His fucking bitch mom starts yelling at him, and that's it, okay? So Corey's then driving the fucking motorcycle around the next thing. Like, Corey's driving his motorcycle around the fucking trash compactor. Allison shows up to the junkyard. Okay, then they have the scene where Corey's teaching her how to ride the damn motorcycle, and he's not even doing it right. He can't even decide which thing you pull for the brake. Like, he's sitting there, he's like, you do this for the brake, this to accelerate. No. He's like, he can't even fucking teach the fucking girl right. Right? He can't even fucking teach her, bro. He can't fucking teach her. So then you see that the fucking bully whose tires he slashes there, and he sees him. Corey says he'll be right back to fix the car for Alice. Like, he'll be back to fix Allison's car. Okay, like, dumbass has no social skills. Allison has to flat out tell this clueless clown that she doesn't care about the fucking muffler, that she's there to see him. But again, how often is this be happening for aspiring doctors to be attracted to the low life mechanics? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I just don't get it. I just don't get it, bro. I don't get the groundwork here. Like, if Corey's supposed to be this new boogeyman also, if Allison knows about Corey and he's supposedly the new town's boogeyman, why does she want anything to do with him? I don't know. It's just not believable. But it's like, okay. But it's like, ignoring that. So Allison has just told Corey, I don't care about the fucking muffler, dumbass. I don't care about the muffler. I'm here to see you. Okay? And I must preface for this with what I'm about to tell you, that this is not me trying to make the movie appear worse in any way. What I'm about to tell you and describe to you actually happens in the movie. Okay? This is what actually happens. Allison tells Corey that she's there to see him, and then Corey stands there and stares at her, doesn't say anything, and then he legit, you can't make this shit up, lads, he then winces at her. He gives this fucking childish fucking face at her. He goes, eeh. Like his face scrunches up and he winces at her. And then it cuts to the next scene. That's what happens. Yeah, that's what happens. He doesn't answer her, doesn't say anything, stares at her, winces at her, cut, next scene. What are we doing? What are we doing? What fucking nonsense are we doing here, guys? What kind of preschool level filmmaking is happening right now in this fucking garbage movie? What is going on? It's fucking abysmal that I'm supposed to take this shit seriously. And again, why are you focusing so much on the damn first act, Rosie? Because this is supposed to be the character work. You haven't seen these characters for 4 fucking years. This is what supposedly has happened 4 years after Michael Myers butchered the town. That's what was supposed to... Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? It's incredible. So the next scene, we're at the store. Laurie bumps into Hawkins, and they legit talk about food and guitars and all this old people shit. Again, don't want to fucking talk about that. She then tells Hawkins that she has a house with Allison. Don't know how he doesn't already fucking know that, but whatever. Okay? Don't know how he doesn't know that. So then Laurie leaves the store smiling, okay? She leaves the store fucking giddy, happy, and smiling, okay? We now get the fucking best scene of the movie so far. And it's not even that good. But this is the best scene of the movie so far. Something finally happens in this fucking movie, guys. So, remember the bitch that got stabbed with the light tube? Remember? Myers kills her husband, stabs her with the light tube and kills, twists the fucking light tube, and makes her watch Myers makes her watch her stab her husband's dead corpse fucking 25 times. Remember that really good scene in Kills where we're getting to learn about Myers and how he thinks when he's decorating? How we learn about how he cares about the aesthetic of what he's creating and all, like it's an art project. Like all that shit, that's what we learn and get to see. So she somehow survived. Okay, we talked about that in the fucking Kills review about how Don't Tell Me She's Alive ends as a bad movie. Yeah. So she's actually alive, right? I don't know who called the fucking ambulance to rescue her, but whatever. She's alive, sure. So basically, she's alive, and her neighbor, like her sister or something, asked Laurie, what the fuck you smiling about? What are you smiling about? What'd you buy in there? What are you smiling about, Laurie? Valid question. Valid fucking question, Laurie. What the fuck are you smiling about? That's why the sister character is one of the best characters in the fucking movie. Because she sees Laurie acting all giddy. She's going, what the fuck are you smiling about, bitch? But again, it immediately falls apart because she immediately blames Laurie for the entire incident. This is something that comes up a lot in this movie. It's kind of like the Rob Zombie 09, where they like personally blame Loomis for Myers' rampage. They kind of do that with Laurie here. They say Laurie's personally responsible for Myers' rampage. That accusation still holds no weight, just like it held no weight in the Rob Zombie 09 movie against Loomis. It held no weight against Loomis to me, and it doesn't hold any weight against Laurie. The fact that these characters are called personally responsible for Myers' massacre, no. They're not personally responsible. So, but there was a good line when she says Laurie doesn't even know her neighbor's name. That was a good line, because it's fucking true. Like, you don't even know her name. She lost her voice. Like, that was actually a good line when she said, you don't even know her name. But the problem is, he also says that Laurie provoked Myers, and that was the reason. Okay? We as the fans know that that's not the real issue. Okay? This is something we'll say later. Myers was coming to Haddonfield after Laurie did not cause the bus crash. Myers was coming to Haddonfield no matter what. This doesn't personally fall on Laurie. None of it does. So I don't get that accusation. However, the real issue with Laurie's character is that what the fuck you smiling about? Why are you acting like everything's rainbows and sunshine when everything's not rainbows and sunshine? You're sitting there pretending there's nothing wrong with the world. Again, the fact that the decision to make her try to like rise above Myers' infection just made her come across as pretentious and fucking lacking of sense of awareness of her fucking setting and her fucking existence. It made her fucking look out of touch with her own existence. There's nothing wrong. The whole town's affected by this man. She's a complete 180 of her 2018 counterpart. And again, do not mistake this for organic character development. This is not organic character development in any shape, in any sense of the word. Laurie has every fucking reason to still be after this man in the same way she was in 2018. If not more so. The rage should only be intensified. She is not after him because the plot is contrived to have her not be after him. The plot says that she's not after him anymore, so she's not after him anymore. Despite the entire groundwork suggesting that she should be. The real criticism against Laurie Strode in this movie is that she gave up. And again, she gave up. She gave the fuck up. The neighbor was wrong in blaming Laurie personally, but she should have told Laurie how fucking disgusted she was by the fact that she can act the way she's acting right now after everything that's happened. That's what she should have said. Not that she's fucking personally responsible, but how fucking disgusting she's acting right now. By trying to be the fake, petty, positive person when there's nothing to be positive about. Like, stop being fucking positive. Nobody wants that. You ever heard of toxic positivity? That's Laurie's character in this movie. And it shouldn't be. And it fucking shouldn't be. So Hawkins, of course, sees the whole thing, and he's comforting Laurie in her car, or whatever. And the next, Allison and Corey get to the fucking party. Allison's dressed up like a cat, a very basic bitch cat costume. And Corey's sporting the scarecrow mask we're going to have to deal with later in this movie. Okay? So we finally get confirmation at the party that Allison knows Corey has killed the kid at this particular point. But again, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why this doesn't bother him. We don't get a reason or an explanation. We know Allison's history with murder. Like, if somebody's fucking murdered somebody, I would want an explanation as to why she's fucking bothering with this clown. But no, we get more cringe instead. We get this fucking dance rave sequence where Corey and Allison are having fun at the rave and the dance. Okay? The reason that this is there is because, it's a very common theme here. The reason this is here is because we don't need to bother with creating any organic connection between the two characters through the writing if we just do this. Oh, they're having fun at the rave. They're taking party pictures together inside the fucking thingamajig. They're having a good fucking time. Stop being a hater, Rosie. No! Bullshit! There's no organic reason for them to be attracted to each other. Well, good. There's an organic reason for him to be attracted to her because she's beautiful. There's no organic reason for her to be attracted to him. It's forced. Again, Corey's at that age where it's like, if the girl's hot, it doesn't matter. If she's hot, it don't matter. That's where he's at. But she's at the point where she's got a stable fucking job. Why do you want to date a child killer, bro? Like, fucking seriously. Again, it's organic and forced just so we don't have to fucking do the writing. You're being shown a party, accept it. It is what it is. Well, no, I don't accept it. Too many questions. I want to know more. So Corey gets separated from Allison, okay, because he's going to get beer. Okay, he wants more beer, wants more alcohol. He runs from Allison to go get more fucking beer, and the next thing that happens is he bumps into the mom of Kevin, or whatever the fuck his name was, the kid that he killed. He bumps into that kid's mother. She then yells at Corey about how are you still out here having fun after you killed my son? Okay, what the fuck are you doing here, bitch? That's what I wanted to say. What the hell are you doing here? Like, if you're mad at him for being out here having fun while after he killed your son, why are you at the same party after your son's dead? Seriously. The placement of this scene, what this is supposed to do is mirror the fact that it just happened to Laurie. Okay? That's the reason. That's the reason it's placed here. You're supposed to draw the connection between Laurie and Corey, that they're both getting harassed by the town for trying to make the best out of their lives. Okay? It doesn't work. Corey's just getting harassed by a drunk bitch that shouldn't be there. There's a legit fucking issue that the town should have with her. Which again, Corey, the town doesn't like him either, but that's because he's the new boogeyman. Laurie, there's a legit fucking reason to have issue with her and the way she's acting now. But beside the point. Corey runs out. Allison follows him because she's trying to figure out what the fuck happened. And then during this whole thing, Corey fucking yells at Allison. This pissed me off because Corey's like, where were you? Where were you? Like, you weren't the one that ran off to get beer, fucker. You ran off to get the beer. What do you mean, where was she? What the fuck are you talking about? Where were you? You're the fucking one that ran off. You got separated from her, dumbass. And again, Allison, at this point, should immediately tell him to fuck right off to the pits of hell, because what the fuck are you talking about? You have no right to be fucking yelling at her. Zero. What are you yelling at her for? How is any of that her fault at all? But of course she doesn't. She doesn't tell him to piss off. She starts to play this whole card about how they're both fucking damaged individuals and they have like so much in common. Corey, we have so much in common, baby. Please don't yell at me, Corey. We have so much in common, baby. So Corey rightfully points out the fact they have nothing in fucking common because she's a fucking survivor of Michael Myers and he's an idiot that killed the kid in the attic. Yeah. Here's the issue I have with that. It's like, whoa, they realized that the writers pointed out that they don't have any organic connection. Yeah, saying that doesn't make it less bad. Saying the fact that these characters have nothing in common with each other out loud does not make your plot any less contrived or your writing any less bad. Acknowledging your writing is bad doesn't make your writing less bad. It's still bad, as it turns out. It's still bad, guys, as it turns out. It's still fucking garbage, as it turns out. Pointing out something is bad doesn't make it good all of a sudden. The writing of this movie is still bad. The romance is still forced and contrived. Pointing that out in the script doesn't make it less so. I don't care that they pointed it out because it's true. So after Corey screams at this girl he has no right to be screaming at, he fucking leaves, and then he is conveniently found by his teenage bullies again, and they start to beat him up. So after more shock value dialogue, the fucking teen bullies end up throwing him over the fucking, barricade. Okay. At this point, we're about 40 minutes into the movie. Here comes Myers. After about 40 minutes into the movie. Myers fucking grabs Corey off screen. You don't see him. You just see somebody picks up Corey's legs and drags him into the fucking sewer. Okay. And then Allison makes it home, but whatever. He fucking drags him into the sewer like he's a fucking decrepit old man, but I can't do it anymore because that's what he is. Now, before we get into this before we talk about Myers is coming. We're going to talk about him. Because it has to be said. I want to fucking first dispel an obvious comparison I know people that have seen my previous reviews are going to make. The fact that I fucking love Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I love it. I'm not going to fucking sit here and deny that. Myers, I have a real problem with Myers' interpretation in this movie. And I know the first fucking bitch in the comments is going to say, Rosie, how is it any different from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Where Myers is homeless in this version and he's a fucking hobo in that one too. How is it any different, bro? I will explain it to you right now. I will explain to you what the difference is right now. Because the Rob Zombie Myers, ladies and gentlemen, was always a hunter. The Myers in this movie is a fucking scavenger. That's the difference. This Myers is a pathetic scavenger that takes fucking homeless bums into the sewer and kills them in the sewer. He takes already decrepit, almost dead people anyway into the sewer, kills them that way. The Rob Zombie Myers was always a fucking hunter. The Rob Zombie Myers always butchered people and killed their dogs and ate them, or whatever the fuck he was doing. Myers being homeless doesn't demean his character in the way that it does here. That's the difference. To see Myers as a homeless, decrepit bum in this movie living amongst the the fucking piss and shit in the sewer tells you what the writers think of him in this movie. He lives with the fucking shit and piss out of desperation, almost becoming one with the sewer. The way he almost blends in with the scenery. The way he's fucking limping around the fucking piss and shit infested hole. The Rob Zombie Myers, always in control of his situation. That was his life. He wandered the earth. The Rob Zombie Myers was homeless, but sure, that's what it was, but the movie never framed it that way. The movie framed the Rob Zombie Myers as the bringer of death and destruction that walked across the earth, that was a vapid wanderer of the earth that did nothing but kill. That's why his look was updated. Whether you disagree with the look choice or not, again, I don't like the fact that we get as many shots of him unmasked as we do. The fact that they gave him a design very reminiscent of the Grim Reaper in that movie was very intentional. Because he wanders the earth and kills. That's it. This Myers, because he doesn't do that, he sits amongst the shit and piss in the sewer. That tells you what's going on here. Myers is a shell of his former self. That's what's being communicated via the fact that he lives in the sewer with piss and shit. And there's literally a homeless guy's tent right outside where he fucking lives. That tells you what you need to know. The Myers in this movie is a actual bum that is very decrepit and very weak. That is not true with Rob Zombie's version. Rob Zombie's Michael Myers in both incarnations is still debatably the most violent and gruesome version of the character that has ever existed. And he wasn't even supernatural. He was a very violent, sadistic, brutal, bloodthirsty machine. That's not what we get here. But anyway, we're back at the sewer with Corey, and he gets up and he tries to leave the sewer, okay? He's on his way out. Myers' hand reaches out from the wall and picks him up. My question is, what was this pathetic, COVID, disease-ridden piece of shit calling itself Michael Myers' plan if Corey fucking just walked out through the center? What if he was out of grab range, Myers? What the fuck were you gonna do? What the fuck were we gonna do, bro? If he didn't walk out like right next to the fucking bricks to be grabbed, what was your plan there? Myers grabs Corey, and then we get like flashbacks of Corey. So I guess it's either Corey seeing his life before his eyes, or like Myers is seeing that shit or something. And he's like transferring his evil essence or something. It's stupid. Myers basically sees it and he basically lets him go. Okay, the second that Corey gets out of the fucking sewer, a crazy homeless guy fucking assaults him. He's like, I'm Michael Myers. And then he kills, and so basically Corey kills the guy in self-defense, okay? Also, if the homeless guys know where fucking Myers is, and they know he's in the sewer, why the fuck aren't they telling anyone about it? If you are a homeless man in Haddonfield and you know where Myers is, it is in your best interest to fucking tell the cops about that. I know where fucking Myers is. Can we go get him, please? Can we go get, like they're homeless people. They're not crazy. They're not fucking insane, deranged people to the point where they don't know what the hell's going on. If you're a homeless person in Haddonfield and you know where Myers is, you're going straight to the cops. Especially if this version of Myers is known for picking off homeless people. You're going to the cops. And then guess what would happen? Guess what would happen? In this overly paranoid setting, any lead on Myers would get the cops to lead another manhunt against him. They would find him in the sewer because that's where they were told that he was. They'd find him in the sewer, grab him, execute him, movie's over right there. Would save me an hour of my life. Because what's this Myers going to do? Fight back against the cops? He can't even fucking beat Corey. He can't even beat one cop in this movie. If the entire police force leads a manhunt against this version of Michael Myers, he's fucking done. He's done. They're going to fucking drag him out and smoke him and shoot him. And he'll be dead in a second. Seriously. Save me an hour of my life. So fucking dumbass Corey Cunningham gets home and he's nagged by his fucking mom, who basically neglects all the fucking blood that's on him. That's fucking convenient. That's really good. So that all worked out for Corey, that his mom didn't ask, hey, why is there blood all over you, bro? I guess she assumed it's his. I don't fucking know. So basically, Allison does not get the promotion at work. Okay? He doesn't get the promotion at work. And the fucking redheaded slut at work does, for obvious fucking reasons. You get fucking more fucking fake deep Laurie monologue shit basically, while Laurie's typing her fucking memoir again, you get more of that fake, deep bullshit. Opening up my energy drink, lads. Getting the... Basically, once... Here's the thing. We'll start it here. One defense I've heard for this movie's premise, this is actually in my comment section for my first rant video. Go back and look for it. They say that Myers doesn't transfer his evil into Corey. Corey had the evil the whole time, and Myers saw that, and that's why he let him go. That idea is utter horseshit. That is not what's going on here. Laurie, and basically, you know that's not what's going on, because when Laurie goes out to talk with Corey and see him, she is fucking disturbed by the change that she sees in his eyes. She talks about that later on. And then the dad talks about it too, when that whole scene comes up. She talks about the differences in his fucking eyes, that she sees Myers in his eyes. If Corey truly had that evil in him the entire time, Laurie would have saw it the first fucking instance that they met. But she didn't. Because it wasn't there until Myers grabbed him. Laurie noticed the change in demeanor immediately. If Laurie did not notice that it was in him the whole time, it's an insult to her fucking character. Which you could argue that Laurie's character has been insulted this whole fucking movie. What's one more? But I would argue that in this particular instance that she noticed it here because she never got any less bad at that. I would argue that, at least, because they have her after Corey has met with Michael, that they immediately change the demeanor and how she treats him. That, again, that's very planned and deliberate, I think. So, I don't think that's what's going on. So, basically, if Corey would have seen it. It's literally just that simple. Any defense of that notion and anything that says Corey had the evil the whole time is simply contrived, inconsistent. It's inconsistent with what you're being told in the movie. The movie's telling you one thing, you're headcanoning another. It's literally that simple. The entire, his entire demeanor changes. His entire demeanor instantly changes as soon as he interacts with Myers. The way he moves, the way he talks, the way he acts, his voice, his smile, everything about him changes after this interaction. Okay? Cute on the actor, whatever his name is, cute on the actor to instantly be able to 180 your performance like that. Bad pacing. Bad pacing. It just comes out of nowhere. So basically, Corey's there at the house because he wants to fucking talk to Allison again, okay? That's what he's doing here. He wants to talk and meet with Allison and talk to her about the fucking party, I guess. Laurie's just watching them leave, totally disturbed, and then he fucking basically comes out with it and he's like, I killed someone. And then Allison sits there and looks at him because the writers literally don't know how to give her an organic response. Again, she just fucking looks at him. No, don't say anything. Any response that she gives at this point damages her character, other than go away, which they can't have her leave because we're forcing this romance to be a thing. Again, don't you wish this was properly built up over 3 movies? I do. So, basically, what he does next is he takes her to the house where he killed Jeremy the kid, okay? Basically, we're not talking about the homeless guy. That's how they get away with it. Even though he already told her that he killed a kid, so saying I killed someone makes you think we're talking about the guy he just killed, but we're apparently not. I don't fucking know. Unless we are. In this case, Allison's even more of an idiot than you think she is. I don't fucking know. So, Laurie meets with Corey's mom, okay? He meets with Corey's mom, and this is when Corey's mom goes into the spiel of your boogeyman disappeared, so they needed a new one, okay? But it still doesn't make any sense. She's still blaming Laurie on a personal level for that. That's just not true. Especially in this particular setting, where Myers isn't just Laurie's boogeyman here. That's not what he is in this fucking context. He's the entire town's boogeyman. That's what kills this awful fucking mob scene, and how Kills tanked its quality to give you points and characterization. The awful shit in Kills and the mob scene, it was showcasing that he's Haddonfield's boogeyman. Okay? The only thing that Laurie is guilty of is not sharing the town's hate and rage, because that's what makes no sense. That's what Laurie's guilty of. Not personally responsible for Michael Myers in any real way. I don't even feel like it's the town being corrupted either. I don't feel it's that because it still makes no sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense why anybody would blame Laurie for that. Maybe as a scapegoat, I guess, but like that still doesn't make sense. Corey's the scapegoat, not Laurie. I don't fucking know. This whole movie's just completely falling apart. It's just completely falling apart. So the next scene is Corey McBory and Allison they're at the fucking restaurant, okay? So basically, dumbass's entire demeanor is completely changed now. He's talking to her. He's giving her complex theories. He's like, Laurie's feels guilty about your parents dying, so she's making you her child. Okay? Like that's what is going on here, right? So basically, what happens here, lads, is Allison kind of like, oh god, okay. Allison mentions like that Laurie, like you should have seen Laurie like when she before she sobered up, before therapy and stuff we didn't get to see, right? We kind of wish we did. That would be the more interesting stuff. But while they're talking about burning it down or some shit, Allison's dummy ex-cop friend comes over drunk and he's trying to make him try this fucking cake. Okay? Corey like overly aggressively squares up to him. And then he drives Allison home, okay? And so he drives her home, and then they say goodbye, okay? There's a very, very cringe scene when he drives her home. Very cringe. Very cringe. He's like clearly thinking that he's some badass or something. It's just awful. It's a very cringe scene. The song in the background's cringe. The whole thing is cringe, okay? They didn't earn this or anything. It's just coming. It's very forced, very cringe. The pacing sucks. Everything I've already told you in the 2018 and kills and my first rant on this fucking garbage about how this storyline just shouldn't even exist. It shouldn't exist. This whole storyline shouldn't exist. I can't get up behind Corey being a badass. This whole thing just shouldn't exist, bro. It just shouldn't exist. It just should not fucking exist, bro. So, basically, Allison's ex is in the car, okay, following him. Like, the guy skulked out to the house so he could fucking meet Allison. Like, he could just watch Corey drop her off and then follow him, okay? Corey immediately knows he's being followed, okay? And then he drives to the fucking sewer, okay? That's what he drives to the sewer because he knows Myers is in the sewer, okay? Then the ex is now he finds the dead homeless guy from earlier, okay? Corey then comes out and attacks him. He gets fucking thrown off. He does some cringe laughing and flees into the sewer. We then, like, as the guy goes into the sewer, he's like, this is what happens when you fuck with, what's his name? What happens with the fucking, he's a Mulaney. Remember how in Kills I said we needed the adult Mulaney's? I guess this is one of them. Either it's probably not the exact Mulaney's, it's probably one of their kids, but we get an adult Mulaney. Haha, cute. So Allison dated one of the Mulaney's. Lol. Funny. So he follows Corey into the sewer. He shines a flashlight on him. Corey just sits there and stares at him, okay? Myers fucking comes out, okay? Here's Myers finally fucking doing something in this movie. Myers jumps out and he fucking attacks fucking cop, okay? He attacks the guy, but he is instantly overpowered because he's a piece of shit. That's what happens. The cop instantly throws Myers off of him. He stumbles and then falls on his ass. That's as soon as his first time attacking somebody in this movie, he is thrown on his ass. That's what I want to see. He falls on his ass. Legit falls on his fucking ass, bro. He's sitting there leaning against the rocks. Like, it's fucking insulting to my intelligence and my fucking fan investment. Watching Myers fall on his ass, and then he fucking staggers against the rock. Corey has to knock the fucking cop over. He then turns to Myers and fucking says, "Help, get up!" He screams at him. He screams at Myers like he's some shitty fucking teammate in a Call of Duty match. That's what goes on here. He screams at him, "Get up, help! Show me how to do it. Help!" He screams at Myers like he's fucking carrying him in Call of Duty. It's embarrassing. Myers gets out his knife, okay? It's like wedged in the rocks. Myers takes it out. It's as dusty and disheveled as he is, okay? Myers is carrying the knife. Corey is holding down Allison's ex as Myers is fucking limping over to him. He can barely fucking walk. His left arm is like surgically attached to him, and he's carrying the knife, okay? He's limping over like a disheveled piece of fucking shit, bro. It's just embarrassing. Like, watching Myers fucking try to move in this scene is embarrassing. And what really pisses me off, lads, is they had the fucking audacity, the fucking nerve, the fucking balls to play the fucker's theme song during this scene. They play his theme song. They play Michael Myers' theme song as he is a fucking disheveled piece of shit. Insulting. Absolutely fucking insulting that they play his song during this scene. Insane. The theme should be played for serious moments of strength, not whatever the fuck we're watching here. It's just fucking embarrassing. It's disrespectful to the franchise. Watching the fucking franchise killer that invented the slasher subgenre stumble around and need help with this fucking throwaway character in the cops is insulting to the character of Michael Myers, the series, the setting of Haddonfield, the fans, and Laurie Strode, everything. We are drawn to this character because of his mystique, because of his badassery, the way that his uniqueness in terms of being a slasher. We are not here to watch an old man limp around and need help from somebody who is socially inept and he's unable to take the most obvious romantic social cues in cinematic history. We are not here to watch that. So at this point here, you now realize, if you are smart, you will have the most uninteresting version of Laurie Strode now up against the most uninteresting version of Michael Myers. That's what this movie has now given you. The antagonist has now been disrespected, just like the protagonist has been disrespected. Our framework here is in the fucking garbage. Not to mention that we're not getting any focus on either of them because we're running around with Corey fucking Cunningham the entire fucking movie. We're not getting anything. Like, anything could work if you do it right, but they're not getting any development of Laurie or Myers or anything. We're getting Corey Cunningham, bro. So after Corey has killed the ex, okay, he runs back to the house, okay, he runs back to Allison, okay, he was at Laurie's house. He starts saying all kinds of questionable bullshit, very sketchy stuff. And then he also asked her the really sketchy question of, did Michael Myers let you live or did you escape? Allison's red flags should be going off right now, but apparently the only thing that does is make her vagina wet. Because they go have sex up in the room. You don't get a sex scene. Don't get too excited, Andy Manichek fans. But you get to see Laurie sitting there watching them go up the stairs. And then Myers stares at Laurie from a distance. And that's the scene. The fuck are we watching, bro? What the fuck is this? What are we doing here? This is absolutely fucking garbage. Again, that obvious red flag moment of why the fuck are you asking me about Michael Myers is completely ignored by a character who is supposed to be smart in favor of her getting dick. And you wonder why I think Allison was fucking trashed in this movie. She lost all of her intelligence and agency just to be forced into this contrived fucking romance angle. Bullshit. The character of Allison in the 2018 Kills would not be attracted to this guy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense that she would be attracted to this guy. It's contrived and forced. That's what it is. So basically, Laurie's at the same bar where Lindsay's at. Like, Lindsay's the one who hosted the rave or whatever. She tells Lindsay that she sees Michael's eyes in Corey. And Lindsay fucking brings in the dad of the kid that Corey killed. And basically, he starts talking about how he tried to find a way to forgive Corey, okay? And he said that Corey was always a good kid, so he was going to try to patch it up. He saw Corey the prior day on the way to work, so after Myers grabbed him already. He saw him, and he said he notes a difference in Corey's eyes. This is more evidence that Myers transferred evil into Corey. Myers gave Corey some of his essence. They then try to, like, play it off like it could have always been there. Like, the guy's like, or was it always there? No, it's a cop-out. No, he even says, like, a second later that the kid that mowed his lawn didn't kill his son. Myers transferred his evil. This is completely more evidence. So there. That's the end of that fucking bullshit. So then the doctor and the redheaded slut get back to the doctor's house. Stupid shit happens, and then the dumb bitch goes to take a shower. You get a Psycho reference with the shower. Wish I was watching that movie instead of this one. But she hears thumping, and she comes back out to see Corey Cunningham in his fucking scarecrow mask stabbing the doctor. Not a fan of the stupid mask or the way he moved in this scene. Kind of came off as, like, it was too fast. Didn't like it. Myers, the shape, moves a very certain methodical, robotic way in some instances. Didn't see that here. Not liking it. Not liking it. Okay? Corey then gets his finger smashed in the door, okay? And then he starts banging on the glass in his scarecrow mask. Looking as ridiculous as Ghostface did in Scream 2 when he was banging on the glass. That's a review for another day. I fucking hate that movie too. He starts banging on the glass. Looks fucking ridiculous. Hitting the glass trying to get in the house. Looks terrible. Okay? So the slut tries to call the police, but Myers stops her and he actually gets a fucking kill in this movie. Fucking wow, dude. He fucking gets a kill in the movie. He gets a kill in the fucking movie, bro. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's just reminiscent of Bob's death in 78. He just fucking raises her against the wall and stabs her. So there you go on that one. So, Myers looks a little stronger here than he did in the sewer. So, at this point, you see Myers, he gets a kill, he's moving around a little bit, you're thinking, okay, he'll be back for the climax, he'll be back in better shape. Very questionable framework for both sides of the movie. Well, for both characters, this is a super questionable framework, but as long as Myers is back by the end, well, like, we can at least fucking have a decent climax, right? That's what you're thinking at this point. No, that's not what's gonna happen. That's not what's going to happen. So Corey takes Allison to the roof of some fucking radio station, okay? There's more fucking cringe dialogue. Absolutely not realistic at all. I don't know, guys. Am I a sociopath or is this fucking realistic? I don't buy this as real romantic dialogue. I really don't. Now, maybe it's because I'm just a sociopath that hasn't really had a genuine connection with a woman since I had to break up with my abusive ex-girlfriend back in 2018. Maybe that's why. I don't fucking know. This shit just looks terrible to me. Like, am I crazy? It doesn't feel real to me. And then again, he starts being all weird again. He starts saying weird, creepy bullshit where he's like, I gotta get away from everybody who knows me, but I don't want to go alone. I think you're scared you don't have enough bandages to keep me together. Like, what kind of fucking cringe is this, bro? And then after he said the fucking cringe line about the bandages, this is when I realized another major problem with this angle, okay? Again, I will continue to say this. The biggest problem with the Corey Cunningham angle is the fucking existence of the angle. It should not be here. This movie should be a Laurie leading a full-scale manhunt to find Michael Myers. That's what this movie should have been. That's all we needed. This fucking Corey angle should not be here. But again, in the actual context of the movie, here is as a standalone movie, when people say as a standalone, this movie works. That is fucking bullshit for one. And here's a reason why it doesn't work. There's no actual struggle with this movie's main character with Corey Cunningham. If there was some fucking actual fight of this guy to keep his good nature intact, okay, like you get with Laurie Strode in Halloween 209, if there was a fucking fight of this man to actually keep his good side intact in the face of the growing pressure of Michael's transferred evil into him, that could be an interesting plot. That could be an interesting watch. Like, to see his good character fight with Michael's evil, to have these fucking urges to how explore that rage that he can start getting because Michael's evil is him. This urge to start wanting to kill this urge to start, like, as he goes slowly, like, insane and fights with this evil essence of Myers. But that's not what's happening in this movie. Corey Cunningham, as soon as Myers touches him, is gone. He's gone. There is no back and forth. There's no pressure. There is no, like, Allison's, like, his love for Allison is kind of keeping him in the light. There's none of that. It's like Corey is literally just so corrupted fully the second that Myers touches him. So these scenes with Allison, they don't have any weight because we're not getting anything with them. All we're getting is that Corey's killing people he's fucking Allison and killing people on the side. Okay? It's like a game to him. It's like a game to where it's like he knows he's killing people and he's becoming the new Myers, while at the same time he's fucking a girl that Myers fucking ruined her life. He's slamming his cock in her and at the same time becoming Myers. He's playing both sides and enjoying it. That's what's going on with Corey. Okay? That's what's going on with him. So, because of that, again, the result of that decision to make that the angle they take Corey, there's no tension in the scenes. Because he's not fighting. He's not fighting the evil. He's given in, which he tells Laurie like a scene fucking later. And again, this certainly wasn't the movie to explore that idea. My suggestion of, like, watching Corey's back and forth with Myers as evil, this wasn't the movie for that. That's why this angle shouldn't be here. But again, you could have worked it in better organically if you had paced the other movies better, inserted the character earlier, combined them with Sartain, etc. There are ways to get this idea into ends if you really wanted to do it, right? We've already talked about those. If you want to hear those in more detail, go back and watch those reviews. But in the context of this movie, it does not work because Corey doesn't resist the urges. He doesn't resist it, so there's no reason to be watching what you're watching. There's no reason to watch Corey and Allison together. There's no weight here. It's burning screen time. That's all they're doing. Corey and Allison are burning screen time. They're forced to contrive it at the beginning because that's what the goal was. This is what's happening because this is what we're doing. And then once the romance is quote unquote established, then they're just there to burn screen time. That's basically it. So they get off the roof, okay? Then the radio asshole starts taunting them, okay? The fucking radio host literally fucking blamed Laurie again. The radio host described the Laurie Myers conflict as Laurie teasing a man with brain damage who then snapped. How does that get spread in this town? It's fucking ridiculous. The notion that Laurie somehow fucking created Myers and, like, Myers had brain damage, Laurie fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit, bro. I hated that. So basically, all this scene causes, Allison wants to leave town now. Again, where was that the whole movie? Laurie fucking is stalking them and watching this whole thing, okay? Corey sees Laurie and then makes a face at her, okay? Corey gets home, his over-the-top mom slaps him for some reason, and now it's Halloween. Okay, now we're on Halloween night. We're on Halloween. We're almost done, lads. We're on page 8, I think, of my notes. Yeah. Corey wakes up. Okay. Laurie abducted him. Don't know how she didn't wake him up or get caught or anything. Laurie has abducted Corey and brought him to the house that he kills the kid in. Okay? She starts telling this fucking Nimrod about the two fucking kinds of evil. The first evil is clearly supposed to be Myers, and the second one is supposed to be Corey. Okay? Laurie then gets all defensive and tells Corey that he can't have Allison because she's not equipped to handle this relationship. What the fuck are we watching? How is there fucking 30 minutes of this movie left and this is what we're getting? Sorry. I think there's 40 minutes. My bad. I think there's like 40 minutes left of this movie at this point. Yeah, there is, because this is when I needed a break. Yeah. This scene was so boring and bad, I had to shut the fucking movie off and go take a drive and get an energy drink. At this point, I was falling asleep watching this boring shit, lads. That's how bad it was. So, basically, Corey then says, if I can't have her, no one will. I mean, do girls like Corey Cunningham? Like, do girls like this angle? Ladies, I promise that if I can't have her, no one can is only cute until it's your crazy boyfriend that's saying it. It's only hot and exotic until it's your crazy boyfriend saying it. I promise. I promise. He says then more weird shit, and then how Laurie should surrender to the feeling that she had as soon as she looked into Myers' eyes. So, like, if you're Laurie, you have to know Myers is back. So then Corey's just ranting and raving. Laurie fucking teleports out of the room, I guess. Like, he looks over at her and she's not there anymore. And, like, the window in the fucking next room is open. So Laurie had to, like, fucking sprint to fucking get, like that's what he hit. Like, Corey looks down. Laurie has to get up and sprint to get that next room to get to the window. I don't fucking know. Terrible. And then, lads, here it comes. This is the scene that breaks the movie. What's about to happen here? This scene, the following scene, is the one that breaks the movie and damages the franchise forever. It's this one. This is the scene right here that makes the movie completely irredeemable to me. Completely irredeemable. This is the scene that completes the Michael Myers character assassination. This is it. This is the scene that fully character assassinates him due to the fact that we know about the mask. And I've talked about this on stream before. So we'll tell you, let's go through it and then explain why it's horrendous. This will be repeat information if you see my video about one of my rants I did on stream. Corey walks, the confrontation with Laurie enrages Corey to the point where he gets angry. He gets on his motorcycle and drives to the fucking sewer where Myers is. He walks in the sewer. Myers is just standing there like a fucking retard in the back of the sewer. Corey walks in the sewer. He says, "You got something I need." He fucking jumps at Myers, overpowers him, and takes the fucking mask. He then tells Myers, says this to him, "You are just a man in a Halloween mask. What are you gonna do now?" Takes the mask, leaves the sewer. And it must be stressed that he wasn't just taunting Myers and then he got killed. No, he got away with it. He taunted Myers, told him an old man in a Halloween mask, ripped the mask off, left. Fucking awful, lads. The fact that Corey took the mask after saying all of that shit to Myers gave his words vindication in the context of the movie. This scene right here proved that there was nothing to fear about the man of Michael Myers. This scene right here makes everyone in the franchise look stupid. So does his death scene. This is something that's very similarly flawed with his death scene, but this scene pisses me off more because the death scene we knew was coming. And there's a way to do that right, obviously. So that it's not death that bothers me, it's this. This bothers me. Corey, the character of Michael Myers, has been tied to that mask, bro. 78. Laurie lifts the damn mask up. What does Myers do? Immediately stops trying to kill her, puts the mask back on. That's 78. Halloween 2018. The podcaster shows them the mask. You feel it, don't you, Michael? You feel the mask. It's a part of you, Michael. It's a part of you. Remember that shit, right? The mask is a part of him. Kills. Karen hits him with the pitchfork, rips the mask off. What does Myers do after Karen rips the mask off and kills? Immediately stops trying to kill Allison, follows Karen to the most obvious trap in cinematic history. He knew it was a trap because we did. Especially when the mask was sitting in the middle of the fucking street. Myers did not care that what he was walking into was a trap. He wanted the mask back because the mask is a part of him. It's a part of the character. He wants it back. The fact that Corey Cunningham, this fucking shoehorned piece of shit that should not be anywhere near this trilogy, went in the sewer and ripped the mask off is a completion of the character assassination that the earlier scene started. The more he kills, the more he transcends. Bullshit rhetoric by a crazy person, Laurie Strode. Tharzine, Dr. Loomis. That's the idea. Don't you know we think we should refer to it as him? Corey, ripping the mask off. Terrible. Dr. Loomis, crazy person. The Devil's Eyes, bullshit. Old man in a mask. Corey said old man in a mask, ripped it off, was vindicated through that action. Vindicated. The death scene, you could argue as putting the final nail in the coffin of the character, but this scene is the character assassination. The contradictions, the bait and switch, everything Kills told you was wrong, this is right, is what this movie is telling you. Just fucking awful. And this, ladies and gentlemen, as we also discussed before, messes with your setting, because now everybody in Haddonfield that buys into this guy's hype is fucking stupid, and thus you are stupid, because Haddonfield represents you, the everyman, the every person, the every place. Haddonfield represents you. To character assassinate Myers in this fashion insults the setting and the characters in Haddonfield that are scared of him, the ones that represent you. The writing of this movie insults you, a fan of this franchise, on a personal fucking level. Absolutely horrendous. And again, I said this in my rant too. This is not their intention when they penned it. David Gordon Green did not sit down and intend to insult you as when he wrote the script. That's what irresponsible writing does, that we talked about at the top of the fucking thing, majig here. That's what irresponsible writing is. Irresponsible. They penned a stupid idea that somehow said something they did not mean to say. When you pick the movie apart, you pick everything apart, said what this means, what does this mean in this context, when you fucking put two and two together, the movie accidentally insults you. And that's why it's fucking horrendous. This movie character assassinates Michael Myers. 100 fucking %. This character is a joke to this movie. And again, but going back on another topic we had earlier about what this is not, the lack of screen time isn't the problem. A lack of screen time is an oversimplification of the bigger argument. When it's not like when somebody I complained in my first rant about Myers' lack of screen time, some smartass after this movie came out went and fucking clocked the screen time of Myers in this movie compared to the original 78 version, and he's like, Myers is actually on screen more in this movie than he is in 78. Hey, fucker. One, percentage-wise, this movie's also 30 minutes longer than the original. So percentage-wise, it's still fucking less. First of all. Secondly, that's not the point. Okay? That's not the point. And again, it's bad saying that, like, calling attention to the screen time is an oversimplification of the argument, absolutely. But the real argument, when we are trying to communicate there, is Myers does nothing in the movie. He takes no actions in this movie of any serious weight or consequence. He can be fully deleted from the movie and replaced with Corey Cunningham in every scene he's in. Like, seriously. In every scene that Myers is in, he doesn't need to be in it. And that is insulting for a finale of a trilogy where he was built up to be more powerful than he's ever been before. Insulting. His actions in this movie carry no weight. He does nothing. He does nothing important. Awful. Just fucking awful. So after Corey commits character assassination on Myers and the movie is broken, and from this point on the movie is officially not only bad but one of the worst in the franchise. Corey then writes Psycho on the car of the fucking idiots to lure them to a junkyard. Okay? So before that, because we're not done with assassinating characters in this movie, it's time to put the final nail in Allison's coffin. Allison has a fight with Laurie. Okay? This was a scene, I remembered it being in the fucking movie, and this was a scene I was probably the most interested to rewatch. on this particular viewing of this movie, because as we established in the other two reviews, Allison does have several valid points that she could launch against Laurie and potentially bring up in any potential argument. The biggest one, of course, being Laurie's fucking obvious fucking stupid plan, which ended up killing Ray in 2018, where she was gonna lure fucking Myers to the compound using the family as bait. In her worldview, Myers was obsessed with her, so she brought her family to this compound to lure Myers in. Ray ended up dying. Okay? And then that is obviously her valid argument against Laurie. Okay? So, what do you think Allison said? Do you think she brought the compound up? No. Do you think she brought anything intelligent up? No. Of course not. Of course she didn't. Of course she didn't. You should know what movie we're watching now, lads. We're watching Halloween Ends, bro. We're watching Halloween Ends! So, what she actually does bring up, she accuses Laurie of trying to drag everyone down into being as miserable as she is. And that doesn't make any fucking sense, because that deliberately contradicts the other fucking bitch earlier in the movie that was calling Laurie too happy. Basically, what are you smiling for? She asked her. So, these two criticisms against Laurie don't add up. They contradict each other. So, that doesn't fucking make any sense. That don't make no fucking sense. She then accuses Laurie, again, of causing the hysteria of Haddonfield. But again, that's a baseless claim. One, it was mostly Tommy Doyle that riled everybody up in the last movie, number one. And number two, again, it's not on her. Myers' actions are on him. Laurie didn't crash the bus. Myers was coming to Haddonfield regardless of what Laurie did. Laurie was just trying to be protective. So, what you fucking should be saying is you need to focus on the fact that Laurie's fucking protection is garbage. She can't protect me. You can't protect me anymore, Laurie. You fucking got my dad killed, not her parents. Karen's death was on her. Karen's death was stupid. She went up and she got herself killed by trying to put herself in Myers' headspace. That was on her. Laurie was responsible for killing Ray. That's actually true. So you could have yelled at her about that, and then you yell, you can't protect anyone, Laurie. Your protection doesn't work. I need to get out of here. I'm going insane being trapped here in this fucking hellhole of a fucking town. That's what Allison needed to say. But she didn't. She threw baseless garbage at Laurie and didn't bring up the things that actually mattered. So again, this fight scene is garbage. Garbage. But anyway, it's time for the fucking kills of this movie. We legit, you then get 3 kill scenes in a row, lads. Because this movie forgot to do kill scenes the whole fucking movie, because Corey was being developed into being the new Myers. Developed, I can't put enough quotation marks around that word, so I'm not going to even try. And Myers was being a fucking bum in the sewer. So you didn't get any kills. So here comes the kill quota. The high school bullies are lured into the junkyard by an adult, and then they're gonna fucking break his motorcycle. Corey kills one of them by impaling them in the eye. That one's done off screen. He then, runs another one over with a truck, and then that pins her against the ground or something. The fucking lead one goes, and he gets Corey's dad to help them out, okay? But then the dad realizes it's Corey, so he tries to defuse the situation, but the fucking lead one ends up using this distraction to try to shoot Corey, but then the dad takes a bullet for Corey, okay? So that's what happens there. He burns the lead one with a blowtorch, and then he stops the other one's head in via Sartain. I've heard some people say that the kills are good. I don't think they are, honestly. They're really average. They're really average. And at this point, the movie's already broken. So if the scene of Corey taking the mask broke the movie. The movie's irredeemable garbage. So it doesn't matter how good these kills are. The movie's broken already. The movie structure is now completely 100% broken, and the damage to the franchise at this point is fucking irredeemable. These kills could be the best kills in the movie. They're not. The best kill in the movie is the one that Myers does, because Myers does it. These kills could be the best kills in the franchise. They're not. They're not even close. But it doesn't save the movie. The movie's objectively already broken. So after all that dumb shit, Corey goes home and they have a shot of him grabbing a knife from the drawer like in Halloween 78, and then he kills his mom off screen. And then you see Corey, next thing he goes from one place to another place. I guess he's driving his truck. Fucking Michael Myers, man. I'm Corey Cunningham driving around my fucking pickup truck. We're gonna go kill some motherfuckers. Corey's on his kill quest right now. So then after he kills his mom, he then goes to the radio station, right? And then you see Corey walking around. He doesn't have the stature of Michael Myers. Watching Corey walk around trying to be Myers, it just doesn't work. You can tell there's something off about it. You can tell there's just something not right here. So he fucking kills the radio host, okay? And then after he breaks out, like he fucking cuts the guy's tongue off, which is admittedly the most gory kill in the movie. But he smashes his face and breaks all of his teeth and like breaks his jaw. He ends up looking like the mechanic guy that got his teeth ripped out in Halloween 2018. So there you go. There's a cute little nod there. Like, I noticed all the nods. I just didn't care because the movie's broken already at this point. You can do every cute homage you want. The movie's broken. You've already character assassinated Myers. I don't care. I don't care that the guy looks like the mechanic from 2018. You character assassinated Michael Myers. So, again, we get 3 kills back to back because the movie wasted our time for an hour and 20 minutes. That's what's really going on here. So, now that the kill quote is established, we can have the climax. Okay? Oh, good. So, Allison was told to meet Corey, so she's fucking all over the city. She's not at home. So basically, Corey can go try to kill Laurie, is what's going on here. So basically, Laurie already knows Corey's in the house because she's not a fucking idiot. Laurie has dealt with the Shape in the Shape's prime, Corey. You're a fucking nobody. Okay? You're a fucking loser. She ain't getting fooled by you. So she then calls and reports a suicide, which you find out later that was an actual call. But she fucking shoots a pumpkin, okay? Corey Cunningham, who was listening outside, walks in the fucking room, and Laurie's immediately standing there as like, did you really think I'd fucking kill myself? And then she shoots him, pumps his ass full of lead. He falls over the balcony and falls on the floor, okay? And rips the mask off. Okay? That's what's happening. Like an idiot, like deservingly so, by the way. Watching Corey, Laurie, this angle needs to be put out of its misery immediately. So basically, I don't understand. Allison's pulling into the driveway. What the fuck is Corey's plan right now? And I don't understand what the fuck he's trying to do here. Like, what's he trying to do? The movie doesn't tell you. Is he trying to make Alice, but basically, once Allison pulls in, he stabs himself, and he says, if I can't have her, no one can. And then he stabs himself, okay? Laurie's a fucking retard, and she fucking goes and picks the knife up, okay? Allison then walks in, okay? She walks in. Her boyfriend is dressed up like Michael Myers, with Michael Myers' mask on the floor. He's dressed up like Michael Myers, okay? So Allison walks in, sees her idiot boyfriend dressed up like Michael Myers, and she looks at Laurie and immediately assumes Laurie's the bad guy. What? Hey, Allison, maybe you should ask why your fucking boyfriend's dressed up like Michael fucking Myers. Maybe you ever want to know, what are we doing right now? Are we fucking serious? Like Allison thinking Laurie's the bad guy here also insulted my intelligence. Allison fucking's like, what did you do to him? And then she screams and runs out of the house, okay? So Laurie's just fucking slumping over like, okay? And then, I shit you not, Myers is in the house. Yep, he's in the house. Myers is in the house. You know why he's in the house? You should be fucking good at this by now. Myers is in the house because he's in the house. Because it's contrived. There you go. You know how this movie works now. Myers is in the house because there's 15 minutes left in the movie. I shit you not, lads. When Myers grabs his mask, there's about 15 minutes left in this movie. Yeah. There's about 15 fucking minutes left. We wasted all of our screen time on fucking bullshit. So now we can finally do the Michael Laurie stuff. The absolute worst fucking way to bring these two characters together for their final fight. Absolutely awful. Absolutely fucking terrible, bro. So Myers takes his mask because he's just in the house, and then Corey's still alive, and Myers is finally able to put Corey out of his misery. Thank fucking God. So, again, but before these two characters get into their final fight, I would like to remind you that this is a fucking unmotivated, directionless Laurie against a COVID-ridden piece of shit Myers. That's not what we're here for, lads. We like to watch competent people fighting other competent people. You ever seen The Empire Strikes Back? You ever seen that fucking movie, bro? The Empire Strikes Back is literally Han Solo being competent and Darth Vader being equally as competent and outwitting each other. That's what The Empire Strikes Back is. And that's why it's a fucking great movie. Watching this unmotivated, directionless piece of shit Laurie versus this COVID-ridden garbage Myers that can't walk and is beaten up by teenagers is stupid. There's no fucking investment in this fucking fight. Because the movie is draining and boring, you're now at the last 15 minutes left and you don't care. There's nothing at stake and you don't fucking care. There's no triumph in this. You're not emotionally backing any one of these characters because they ruined both of them. They ruined both of them. They ruined fucking both of them, bro. So, again, before the fight happens, Allison is called by Hawkins and said Laurie reported a suicide. Okay, what was she reporting? She wasn't killing herself, so was it Corey's suicide? Was that what she was supposed to be reporting? Corey's? Don't know what the fuck's going on there. Don't know what the fuck's going on there, lads. So again, you're fucking bored to tears at this point. You're fucking so bored, and it's time to fucking watch the end. And again, you're not cheering with Laurie. At this point in H2O, when the two characters are fighting, you are cheering with Laurie. That is not what's happening here. You are bored out of your fucking miserable mind. So, Laurie jumps out at Myers, and who throws her to the ground and then stomps on her throat. Laurie shoves him off. Myers jumps right back on her, tries to cut her hand in the sink. That was in the trailer. Laurie stops it. Myers chucks her across the table, puts a screwdriver into her ear. Laurie blocks it, stabs him in the hand, which pins his fucking hand to the ground. She stabs him in the chest and then stabs him in his other hand, and Myers is pinned to the table. Then she chucks the fridge at him, and now he's fucking pinned, okay? She stabs him in the ribs, slits his ribs down, takes his fucking mask off. I've already seen that in this movie, so he's already demasculated. And then she fucking tells him all kinds of fucking bullshit. I run from you. I've been chased by you. I tried to forgive you. I thought you were my boogeyman, but now I just see you're a man who's about to stop breathing. And then she slits his throat. Myers chokes her, and then they tease that they're both going to die together. Allison shows back up, breaks fucking Myers' arm. Laurie slits Michael's wrist vertically, and then he dies. That's what they do to kill off this version of Myers. What'd you expect? He's a piece of shit in this movie, bro. But, like, seriously, that's the way we're doing it. That's the way that they killed him off. Pathetic. A very pathetic, boring, lame death for this version of the character. This version of the character in Kills in 2018 was fucking great. And they had to nerf him, and then they killed him like a fucking bitch. A disrespectful kill that is the final nail in the coffin of the character assassination. You are a man who's about to stop breathing. That's what he is. Completely ruined all the hype, bro. You can't kill the boogeyman, bro. You can't. That's this franchise's whole fucking thing. You can't kill the boogeyman. To see Myers go out like this is pathetic. What should they have done? Cut the head off. That's all you needed to do. It worked in H2O. It would have worked here. Just had a big fight. Cut the head off. The head should have been detached from the fucking body. That's all you needed. That's all you need. After a good, well-structured movie, ending with Myers getting his fucking head cut off, that's all you fucking needed here. But this was the most boring way to kill the character. Very boring. Very boring, anticlimactic, doesn't fight back, doesn't even really fight back, and the whole movie did not earn it. The movie did not earn this death for Myers either. Terrible. Absolutely fucking abysmal way to kill Myers. The way she kills him is boring. Very fitting with the rest of the fucking movie. The way she kills him is boring. That is the least interesting way to do it. There's no payoff for the interesting setup Kills gave you, which that this Myers is fucking badass. They nerfed him and killed him. Awful. And demasculated him by fucking ripping his mask off. Just fucking pathetic. Hawkins comes in and sees Myers dead on the table. Allison says he's not dead enough. They strap Myers to the roof of the car, parade his ass around Haddonfield. You get some cameos from, like, Jillian, run! And then, but it's mostly just a bunch of nobodies. They dump Myers, and Laurie and Allison are all good now. They're just not acknowledging anything that happened. They dump Myers in the dunk yard, shred him up. Laurie completes her fucking garbage memoir. Allison admits Laurie was right about Corey. So if she knew, why the fuck did anything happen the way it did? Allison leaves Haddonfield. Laurie's memoir ends, but evil doesn't die. It just changes shape. Hawkins knocks at the door and they talk for a second. And then you see Myers' mask on Laurie's table. That's the movie. Awful. This movie is a complete fucking mockery of your fan investment and love of the franchise. It is a very, very disgusting movie. It is a complete mockery of your investment in this timeline, in these characters, in this world. Mockery. It mocks it. This movie is a mockery of the Halloween franchise. And it has a very unique way of making you sick of it. That is what is the most disgusting thing about this movie. And whenever you put this one in and you watch this movie, your love for this franchise goes down. The franchise is less interesting after you watch this one. The character of Laurie Strode is less interesting after you watch this one. The character of Myers is less interesting after you watch this one. They strip away their positives and accentuate the negatives. And they create new negatives that shouldn't be there. This movie is a piece of fucking dog shit, bro. It's sick of it. Like, you will not want to watch another movie in this franchise after you watch this one. It's truly fucking terrible. Everything's wrong. Everything in this movie's wrong. I don't think there was one good scene in this movie. Especially after I've seen it again. I've watched it twice now. I don't think there's any good. There's no good here. Zero. Even the music isn't as good. The Carpenter stuff, not as good. There's no track for this movie that stands out in the way that The Shape Hunts Allison and Unkillable did. Terrible. Terrible, bro. And there's no way to you need to just rewrite the whole fucking movie from scratch. The Corey angle should not be here, and it should be Laurie launching a manhunt against Myers. Myers getting smoked out of his hiding spot and then having to fend for his life the whole movie. That's all you needed here. This was a very, very basic movie that they just overcomplicated and fucked up with bullshit. It's insulting, man. It truly is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I hate it. I truly hate it. With every fiber of my being, I hate this movie. It's not even like a Resurrection where you can get drunk and laugh at it. Because this isn't fun. This isn't a fun movie. It's boring. The movie's fucking boring. And it's fake deep. What does this movie really tell you about the nature of evil? Evil isn't... It changes shape. That's what the end of... If evil doesn't die, it changes shape. What does that really tell you about evil? When you really think about it. When you really think about it, what does that really tell you? Fucking Palpatine has a quote in Star Wars that's fucking way more philosophical about evil than this movie is. Palpatine's quote is fucking, evil is a label that we place on those that threaten us. That's Palpatine's quote. That one quote is more philosophical than this entire movie. Garbage. This movie's terrible. This movie's terrible, bro. It's truly awful. Nothing about Myers was special. Loomis is crazy. Laurie's crazy. Haddonfield's crazy, and you're stupid for caring about this. That's what this movie told you. Fucking insulting garbage. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, I've shot my load. I'm done. I went over this movie. I went over this whole timeline. I'm done. I did it. Now, you will never have to watch this movie again. And now I will never have to watch this movie again. We can now pretend this movie doesn't exist and only talk about it when we rank it at the very bottom with Resurrection on the tier lists. I'm getting the hell out of here, lads. I hope you found this entertaining. I gave up my entire night to make this for you. And I know it's a surprise, too. So, I'm done. GG's. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Fuck Halloween Ends. This movie's terrible.